Whether you want to do your first pull-up or you already do a pretty good pull-ups, you'll definitely learn how to do it much better after this video. And in order to understand how to train pull-ups specifically for you, we divided them into levels of complexity, and we start with the 0 level, the level at which you do not know how to do pull-ups at all. For this, we just learn how to hang on a bar for 30 seconds. It is necessary so that your grip got used to your own weight and learn how to hold it confidently on the bar. Practice hanging for 30 seconds in 4 or 5 attempts, and it is important not to use magnesia. Level 2. This level can combine several exercises depending on the conditions in which you train. If it is a gym, a machine such as a gravitron or any vertical pull-up, either on a lever machine or a block machine will work well. If you train on a sport ground, you can use pull-ups with your feet on the ground, or pull-ups with the use of fitness bands. All of these exercises, except the pull-ups with feet on the ground, allow you to progress the load by adding weight, or alternatively by reducing the auxiliary pressure. At the third level, we forget about the machines and move directly to the training of pull-ups themselves. These can be both negative pull-ups on a low bar and pull-ups with jumping in and slow lowering down. Exercise in such way until you manage to perform 3 clean repetitions. After that, you can safely move on to the positive phases of this movement only. And before you do that, it's logical to remove a few mistakes right away that make your pull-up less effective, so that later you will not have to retain and start all the way from the beginning. To do this, first of all, focus on the full amplitude of the movement. Don't perform pull-ups only in the lower phase or only in the upper phase. This is what it looks like. Next mistake is inertia. You must not do momentum with your legs unless you're a crossfitter. You also shouldn't do pull-ups without controlling your legs, because it looks terrible and helps you to simplify the movement by inertia of your legs. So control your legs and keep them straight. The next important mistake is doing pull-ups using only your arms and rounding your back instead of bringing your shoulder blades together. If you want to perform pull-ups like God, pay attention to such parameters as a passive hang and active hang. If you learn how to perform an active hang in the beginning and only then perform pull-ups, they will make much more sense in terms of involving much more muscles in the work, because during the usual pull-ups only the abs, lats, forearms and biceps work, while during the active phase the trapezius and deltoid muscles work as well. Okay, the mistakes are solved. Let's go to the level 4. This level means that you know how to do clean, correct pull-ups. In fact, in terms of progression in pull-ups, this level is the last basic level. Next comes various complications. It can be explosive pull-ups, endurance pull-ups, exclusively working on the back muscles, and muscle pull-ups with extra weight. Let's break down the training programs for each of the training styles. Let's start with explosive pull-ups. Here it is important to train in a lower repetition mode, with plenty of rest before recovery. I talked about this in details in the episode about explosive strength training. In short, your main goal is to perform as many pull-ups per workout as possible at a high energy level. I mean in an explosive manner. Once your energy level drops and you are unable to perform explosive pull-ups, you can end the workout. In practice, it looks like this. If your maximum is 20 pull-ups, your goal is to take 20% of your maximum number of reps, which is 4 times. Then we do 4 pull-ups in explosive style. Rest until recovery, but no more than 2 minutes, so as not to cool down, and do 4 reps again, so until your explosive strength begins to drop rapidly. Such training can be performed from 2 to 4 times a week, depending on the level of training, which should be defined subjectively by your own feelings, as well as the starting level of training. So it is enough for a beginner to have 2 workouts per week, and for an experienced athlete 4. A good result of explosive strength training is naturally a more powerful momentum in the starting phase of the movement, which will allow you to perform a pure power muscle ups and will provide a good basis for the next type of training, which is strength training. The method here is similar to explosive pull-ups, but instead of doing pull-ups with your own weight, we will use a deadlift and add weight and reps according to the staircase principle. What should it look like in practice? We start with the pull-ups without loads, just warm up. It should be 2 or 3 warm-up approaches according to your feelings. Then we need to put the load on ourselves, with which we can perform 10 clean repetitions. After this approach, just as in explosive power training, we rest until recovery, and then we perform one approach with the weight, with which we can do 8 repetitions. we repeat the procedure with 6 and 4 repetitions. The last approach we repeat with the same weight and try to repeat our result and perform 4 repetitions. Pay attention that approach to the maximum, that is the maximum load on one repetition, should be done no more than once a month. The rest of the time we train with the working weight. This is the one of really working variants of strength training that you can repeat from 2 to 4 times a week depending on your subjective feelings and level of training. Let's move on to the endurance training. The principle of these workouts is quite different from the two already listed. Our main task in this training format is to learn how to combat acidification and perform a large number of reps. To do this, we need to know our maximum in pull-ups, performing such an approach in which you will no longer be able to perform pull-ups. That is, we do approach to failure. Let's assume that this failure occurred in your 30th rep. What we do next? After a good rest, we come to training and do warm-up. Then we take 90% of your maximum, in our case 27 reps, and perform our first work approach. After that, we rest until you recover, but no more than 4 minutes, and again perform approach, trying to repeat your previous result of 27 reps. The aim of such training is to develop the necessary form so that you will be able to perform from 4 to 5 sets, losing maximum 1 to 3 reps, and better without losing any reps at all. This way of training teaches you how to fight acidification better, and you can finally break through your ceiling. It's important not to do failure reps and to stop at least 1 to 2 reps before failure occurs. You can test your maximum by analogy with straight training once a month. And the last variant of training is the training of different types of pull-ups. For example, it can be so-called archer pull-ups, as well as pull-ups on one arm, pull-ups behind your head, typewriter, or reverse pull-ups on the chin-in bar. All of these types of pull-ups are completely different, but there is one simple principle for all of them. It lies in the fact that before you begin any of the above movements, you must be physically prepared for it. So if your base is only 5 pull-ups, don't learn how to do archer pull-ups. First, gain confidence. Get to a confident 20 repetitions and then start modifying your pull-up variations. Any of the above types of pull-ups are very easy to train, even electively. That is single approach as you train. That is your goal when learning, for example, one-arm pull-ups, is to try to perform this movement as many times as possible in one workout, in either the negative or positive phase. The more repetitions you do in a workout, the faster your small muscle groups and neuromuscular connection will adapt to this kind of exercise. You can also set aside a separate day on which you perform 2 sets of your desired type of pull-ups, with a rest of 1 hour or more. In this way, you will be able to perform up to 12 pull-ups during the day without losing the maximum energy level, and will learn to perform this or that type of pull-ups much faster. The only disadvantages of this method is the fact that every time before each approach, you will need to warm up, and for this format of training, you must have access to chin-in bar throughout the day. So it is suitable for young people or as a variant of training at vacation. Everything I have listed for you today are just some options for pull-up training. Today we did not talk about different grip, we did not discuss options for L-sit pull-ups, static pull-ups, and options using inertia. That is why we suggest you to use our training programs on the website memeworkout.com for consistent and, most importantly, productive workouts. More than 3,000 people have already participated in this project, most of whom have already achieved visible results in vitality, strength, and form. To learn more details, click on this video and see the details of how our project works, or go to the website following the link in the description. Well, if you like this video, guys, make sure to subscribe to this channel and press the notification bell. With you as always was Fedor Chepki. See you very soon and goodbye.